to the Pool Nation podcast, where it's all pool talk. And we ain't talking about netting and jetting or splashing and dashing. We're talking about becoming a nation of pool pros. We talk about the latest products, trends, and training in the pool industry. Now let's welcome your host, with over a decade of industry insider experience and still the reigning champion of Marco Polo, Edgar De Jesus, and his co-host, John JJ Lawless, the fastest netter in the West, and Zach the Pool Boy Nicholas.
Welcome, everyone, to the Pool Nation Live podcast with myself, your host, Edgar De Jesus. And yes, I am the reigning champion of Marco Polo, along with John JJ Flawless, the fastest netter in the West, and the famous Zach, the Pool Boy Nicholas. Today, we're talking to Lindsey and Alisa, the nominees for the 30 Under 40 Rookie of the Year, and our special co-host for tonight, Megan Kendrick, owner of Pool Pro Magazine. Want to welcome everyone to our live podcast, the podcast where it's all pool talk. And we ain't talking about netting and jetting and splashing and dashing. We're talking about becoming a nation of pool pros. And yes, we will talk about the latest products, trends, and training in the pool industry. But before we get started today, I want to thank our sponsors for this podcast, the Ultimate Pool Tools, the SPPA, poolinvoice.com, Blu-ray XL, Aquastar Pool Products, and Pivot Pool Products. We want to thank them for their continued support. Mr. Zacharias, good evening. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I had a lot of fun last night getting on the Instagram live, and I didn't started looking. You guys have done like 100 of those things or something. You left me in the dust. I was shocked at how many lives you guys have done, and it was a lot of fun getting to get on there with Max. And for those of you that don't know, Max works with us here at the Pool Boys, and he's going to Vegas, or he was going to Vegas, I should say. But unfortunately, I had to cancel the trip after last night's live, just because the dangers of hanging out with John and Edgar. So he was really sad when I announced that this morning, but he'll be okay.
Ladies, what we did is we figured out that he's never been to Vegas, and he's going to Vegas with Zach. And if you guys know Zach, 9 o'clock, Zach is sleeping. He's out. He's done for the night. And so me and John told him, if you've gone to Vegas and you've never been this close to being arrested, have you really been to Vegas? Right. So I said, you come hang out with me and John, and we will take you to the brink of that arrest right there. And that'll be a story that you could tell. And then the other thing, John, is Zach can't fire him because he's going to call us and say, hey, what do you guys think? And we'll be like, absolutely not. You can't fire him. Right, John?
I don't know. Look, I actually caught what you said about being this close to being arrested. And I'm thinking, do you know the threshold to be arrested in Vegas compared to anywhere else? So we have to really live on the edge to get that close. So I don't even know if I'm ready to play ball, right? That might be a little too risque for me. But yeah, getting that close to getting arrested in Vegas, we will definitely make headlines if we went for that.
Can you imagine the stories that he'll have to tell? It'd be next level stuff right there. So Megan, good evening. How are you? All the way out from Norman, Oklahoma.
I'm good. Thanks for having me back on the podcast.
We love having you on. We need to do this a little bit more often. I know that you're really busy, so that's why we kind of try not to ask too many times, right, John? Because then eventually she's going to get like, Edgar's calling, reject the call.
Never. I always want to. It's just a matter of, like you said, sometimes I just don't have time for all the things I'd like to get into my day.
Yeah, and the problem is we do our podcast like Friday mornings at like 9:30 our time. So those are tough times. Lindsey, good evening. How you doing?
Great. Thanks for having me.
So Lindsey, you are ready to kind of have a long weekend, right? And when I say long weekend, I mean long busy weekend.
Always a busy weekend. Yep.
See, Megan, she did say always. When we were offline, she was like, oh, once in a while we do a long weekend. And now she's confessing, oh, every weekend.
Yeah. And Edgar, I were saying she's clearly young because there's no way we could hang.
I mean, even during the weeks, it's busy. It's like work is nonstop, and then you're traveling for work or you're traveling for personal life. So I feel like if you're enjoying your weekends and enjoying work, then you're always busy. So
I'm actually starting to come up with a better plan because I'm thinking Zach is going to be asleep by 9 o'clock in Vegas, John. So we take Lindsey with us because she goes the whole weekend. So if she's with us in Vegas, we know it's going to be like a 3-day event. And then I know Alisa is like a partier. It just runs in that blood. So she's just going to jump on and go all the way. As soon as we start to slow down, Alisa will kind of put us in check and be like, you guys going to man up or what? So Alisa, how are you? You're doing the Edgar thing. You're on mute.
Yeah, I know. I'm good so far. Thank you for having me today. Yeah, I'm good. But yeah, the party is part of us.
So there you go. So you know what, Zach, are you sure you're out?
I couldn't make it if I tried. I just don't have it in me anymore.
I don't have it. Listen to him. I don't have it in me anymore. And what are you, like 30 years old?
33, yeah.
30,
That's a day
33. Is there a
party.
difference?
Oh, you're young. You're young.
In dog years.
I don't, Edgar, you're hyping this Vegas after hours trip up a lot. You know, I might be a disappointment, dude, because when you get me near Vegas, dude, I'm all in the casino. I'm gambling.
There
and
we
I'm
go.
eating. That's what I do.
I'm with
John?
you, John.
Yeah.
John,
That's
you
why I
have
go to a
never let me
restaurant.
down. You have never let me down, John. And I doubt that you would let me down in Las Vegas.
I won't. I won't.
Yeah, I know
got
you
your back.
won't. I know you won't. That's why all my money's on you. Hey, before we get started here, I want to give a couple shout outs out here. Janie, Mr. Corey Wax, congratulations out there. Kevin, Howard Pringle is kind of going, hey, John, how you doing? So big shout out to Howard out there. Janie is saying over here that he's not kidding, that he will spend all his money at the tables. Don't worry about it, Janie. We're going to keep him busy enough that he won't have too much time to drop all that money out there. So. All right, before we get started, there's a couple things that we want to talk about, and that is that we are open on voting for the Pool Nation Awards. So go to poolnationawards.com, register to vote. These two lovely young ladies that we have here tonight have been nominated for Rookie of the Year, 30 under 40. That's super exciting. The awards are going to be held on November 16th in Las Vegas at the International Pool and Spa Patio Expo. And as you guys are hearing us, it's going to be big. There's going to be a lot of material to have. So you guys are going to want to get out there.
Yeah, and let's not forget to mention, last year we had a little bit of a confusion, so we're doing our due diligence and making sure everybody understands that this is going to be a gala event. So suits and ties for the gentlemen and cocktail dresses for the women. We also want to take a second to thank all of our sponsors for the awards. Our platinum sponsor is Hasa. And our gold sponsors are Blu-ray XL, Heritage Pool Supply, Natural Chemistry, the SPPA, Leslie's Pro, Ultimate Pool Tools, and Aquastar Pool Products. So thank you very much for supporting us.
I do have to say over here, look at that. So we have Hayward that jumped on. You got the big fan base out there, Lindsey, kind of jumping out there. So big shout out to you. Wait a second, are you tricking us? Is that you?
Not me.
I'm like, is she pulling one over me already? Or like so
That's
you
how
have the
hard that's how hard my team works. They're on there right now.
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty freaking awesome out there. Big, huge shout out to Mr. Matt Mann that is going to be going up to the Pool Nation Awards. Big shout out to you out there. We also want to thank the International Pool and Spa Patio Expo for hosting the awards. They have been absolutely amazing with us. Big shout out to Megan Magana for all of her support and everybody there.
Yeah, and to attend the awards event, you're going to need tickets. So make sure you go to poolnationawards.com and you'll see a red button at the top of the page that says Get Tickets for Pool Nation Awards. Click that. And also to attend the expo piece of it, there's a big red button that says Free Expo Pass. And it'll take you to the registration page for the show. And you're going to want to use the promo code Pool Nation in all caps. and it'll walk you through the registration. And you're going to want to use this code because I think it's about $60 for the expo pass. And if you use that code, you can get onto the floor for free. And so as you're registering, if you want to attend the awards, you can keep going through the registration. You'll get to the events section, and then you can get your tickets for the awards there as well.
John, you alive back there?
I am. I'm like fumbling with the. Don't see me struggling because the camera doesn't get down there, right? So I'm sitting there going, "Damn it, it's not working." Right?
I did get a text from somebody going, I think you were talking a little too fast, Edgar. When does the voting end? And maybe I didn't even say. So October 15th is the day that the voting ends. So get out there and vote. We got 2 weeks left. Get out there and vote. People register.
Yeah. So sorry about that little pause there, folks. My fingers, I guess, weren't quite as quick as this fine evening, but
just to let you know, over here on the chat, on the Insta chat, Matt Man is already burning you over here. So just to let you know that
those are my boys out there are always giving me crap. I appreciate it. So, but before we get started, I want Megan, one, for your friendship and your partnership with us in everything you do, especially for the pool industry. You are definitely a rock star, and we are happy to work with you, and we love the opportunity to talk to you and have you on the podcast.
Likewise. Thanks for having me on again.
Yeah, Megan, a big, huge shout out to you for being such a big supporter and for helping us out big time. So we really appreciate that. All right,
guys.
So Megan, I want to start with you on this podcast, and obviously we probably have some people that are listening that are new, that kind of like don't have your full backstory. So let's start with you a little bit and tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Yeah, so I'm Megan Kendrick. I am the owner and publisher of Pool Pro Magazine and Spa Retailer Magazine, which you can see behind me. Maybe you'll recognize a few people on one of those covers back there. But yeah, we publish Pool Pro 6 times a year. You can pick it up for free at Superior Pool Products and SCP locations, many, but not all of them. And if you don't find one, let me know and I'll make sure you get one. So I've worked in the industry since 2008, and I bought the magazines in 2018. And here we are. How many years later in a pandemic?
Whoever thought, right?
Right.
That must have been a little scary.
Yeah. I mean, I say this a lot, so people are probably tired of me saying it, but I don't recommend buying a business, being pregnant, having a baby, and then having a pandemic in like the very few short years. Don't do that, guys. That sucks.
But now we know that if you survive to the other side, you're pretty much a badass because you had everything kind of against you, and you're on the other side.
I will say it does give me some newfound confidence because I keep telling myself the worst has already happened and we made it. So
that's true. That is very true.
So Megan, we're obviously super stoked and love the fact that you're a part of the Pool Nation Awards with us. And we've talked about it a little bit. And I want to get a little bit of a background on the 30 under 40 and why it's so important to you to recognize the pros in the industry.
Well, so when I bought the magazines, I kind of looked around and it was like, what can we do that's different and that can differentiate ourselves? What isn't out there and who's not being recognized? And it was just so obvious that it was the young professionals in the industry, which I felt like I was part of at that point. I'm about to age out. But it was those new people in the industry who didn't really get that kind of pat on the back and kudos and good job for the hard work that they do. I think too, we've talked in the industry about the labor shortage and how hard it is to get people to stick around and stay in the industry. And it just felt like it was time to sort of uh, make this industry look as fun and cool and young as it really is. And so that was a lot of the thought process behind doing 30 under 40, and it has quickly grown into one of my favorite things that we do all year long. I love it. There are always people in there that I have never heard of or met or know anything about, who have amazing stories and are doing amazing work. And it's just so fun to get to see the depth and the breadth of the people in this industry. And I'm excited to have two of them on the podcast tonight.
Yeah, look, I know all of us feel the same way too. The ability to celebrate all the unsung heroes out in the industry, right? Because there are many, and the 30 under 40 is a great vehicle for that. And I look forward to seeing them every year, and I read through every single one of them, so I can kind of learn and see who they are. And I get excited to see some familiar faces that are on there, and it's a tradition, right? And it's something that I think is going to be going on for many, many years. Just like what we're trying to accomplish with the Pool Nation Awards too, to celebrate the pool professionals out there. And I couldn't agree more. I think it's probably the coolest thing.
When does it's the 30 under 40. So when do the regular 30 under 40, not the rookies of the year, but when do those come out?
Yeah, so we start the nomination process in May. So that goes May through June. Then we give anyone who's been nominated another month to send in all their information to us, so that by the end of July, it's closed. And we are kind of combing through everybody and trying to make our decisions, which is always a struggle because I always want to include everybody. And my team tells me that we pick
You're not allowed.
30 for a reason. um, and so the announcement is actually made in our November issue of the magazine. So the first week in November, those start to roll out online, and then we do a lot of celebrating the next 2 months for everybody who won.
And I always reading through those because, like you said, it's so easy, when you're working and you're in it and you're in your local area, you don't really see beyond that. And like you said, it's so cool. It's super motivating to me personally to be able to look at all these other individuals in the industry and just read about what they're doing and their accomplishments. And it just makes it like, wow, this is really a big industry and there's a lot going on that we just don't think about very often. So I love reading through all of that.
Yeah,
For
I could
sure.
not agree more. And I'm kind of itching to tell you some of the ones from this year because some of them they're so good. But yeah, it's people come from all corners of the world to here in the United States to be part of this industry. They come from all kinds of backgrounds. You have people who have master's degrees. You have people who grew up in the industry and that's all they've ever done and all they've ever known. You've got people who come back from crazy horrible things in their lives and are incredibly successful, and it's just really cool. And like you said, to see where people start and where they end up, and to see the bumps along the way, or not. Sometimes it can be kind of smooth sailing, and all of the different cool, unusual niches and jobs that people have in this industry. Like there are so many facets, and I am still surprised. Like there is someone, again, I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep doing this. I worked on 30 under 40 all day today, so it is fresh in my mind. But there was one guy that he had a job that I had never heard of in the industry before. And I was like, this is amazing.
Oh
When it comes
man.
out, I'll make you guess who it was.
Oh, I
I
thought we were
know,
gonna.
because now the curiosity. I'm thinking who? Ah, man, who
Right?
is it?
Yeah, I'm looking
Mhm.
forward to it. Look,
And
when are we going to start the 30 well over 40 category? Or
Well, I turned 40 in this next year. And so
Then-
once I turn 40, then we can focus on people who are over
30
40.
well
But
over
until then,
40.
I'm gonna pretend like I'm in that category.
so are you only going to go to like 50 and that's it and cap it off? Or I'm just wondering if I have to wait for another to you kind of hit that and kind of be able to
Dude,
fall.
you're
It's all over.
Yeah, it's all
It's
over.
all over.
Yeah, dude,
So,
yeah.
jeez.
Yeah.
Good
I don't
Lord.
think I can do any more contests, guys. These are a lot of work if nobody knows the awards and things like this.
No.
I
No,
mean,
they're-
yeah, you guys know anything about that, but it's a lot of work, and I think I can only handle like one a year, so that's probably it for us.
It's a great one though. It's really known really well in the industry. A lot of people talk about it. So, as a matter of fact, I was doing a Zoom call the other day with somebody in Australia, and he was actually nominated for under 40, and he worked for that
That's so
company. And he
cool.
kind of popped into the meeting, and he was like, and I don't want to spoil it either, but it was super cool to just kind of be able to talk to them, the excitement about it. And by the way, there's like 8 of them coming all the way from Australia, guys, for the awards. They kind of sent me a message and they said, hey, if we buy 8 tickets, can you reserve a spot for us? And I'm like, look, if you guys all come, we'll put a little reserved on your table so that you guys can all sit together. So how exciting is that, that you got people all the way from Australia kind of headed to the awards?
That's awesome.
Super exciting.
So I want to start with you. Edgar and I had the pleasure of meeting you at the Women's Networking event. Can you take a couple minutes and tell us a little bit about the event and what it was like for you?
Well, the event was awesome. I feel part of it. You know, it's difficult as a woman and as well as pool builder. Go to a meeting, go to trainings. Every time there's a woman in the table, they like, oh, probably she don't know what she's talking about, or she don't know nothing. But as soon as I arrived, everyone was really helpful. All the ladies, all of them was beautiful. I'm sorry, guys, you know, just both of you alone. The pool boy, he don't show up at the end. Extra.
Yes, that wasn't even scripted.
See that?
Saying that on the table, everything was awesome. The food, the classes, the training. I feel part of it. The networking, everything was awesome, to be honest. So I have my pump to start the week, all with power. And that's what we need, you know, have more trainings, more getting the woman involved in the industry. Out there, we have a lot of women, you know, doing pool service, scheduling, working at the office, doing paperwork, you know, and everyone is part of the pool industry. At the end, we have a product, either a service or building, but everyone is involved in to have the final product. But I feel part of it. For me, it was awesome meeting a lot of women that really powerful.
Yeah, it was great. And, you know, a lot of it was, you know, all the women that just Megan just kept saying, you know, that don't let this be the last one. Like, we need more, we need more. And that was a common thing at theme at the end, which was pretty awesome. And we had people come from all over the place. I mean, we had people from Hayward that flew out all the way from Charlotte. We had people from Atlanta. We had people from Missouri. We had people, you know, Alisa came all the way from El Paso. She drove all the way up. So we had people from California, Sacramento. It was really great to see that there's just that much, you know, empowerment to fly out. And it was a weekend, guys. It was a Friday, right? And all these people are kind of coming on a Friday too. It wasn't like, oh, this is a business trip and okay, you know, go for business for work. It was in an evening event. I do have to tell you, Alisa, that I did get the pictures back today. Super excited about that. I shared a whole bunch to John, but he didn't even respond on my WhatsApp with the pictures.
I don't know why I'm doing this podcast. I don't like to do videos. I'm not that type of girl. I can be outside crazy day, you know, in construction, but I don't like to take photos. I'm not that type of woman. I don't know. Edgar, he was about to push me to take the picture, but
yeah, look at that. Look at that picture John has.
He's familiar with the camera.
That's awesome. So I did send you, I did send, so we have a WhatsApp chat and I sent it. Neither one of them sent anything about the picture. So that just kind of tells you, Megan, you see what I have to put up with? Like, you feel me, right? It's like you get pictures back, you get excited, you get.
I understand you put a magazine out, you send it out into the world, your little baby that you've worked on for months and months, and then nothing.
Yeah. You know, that just made me realize I better call you every time you put a magazine. So we do have Janie over here saying you guys should do 40 under 80. That should kind of solve the problem for you, Edgar. I appreciate that. And then Janie is over here eyeing about the pictures. So Janie, I did send them to John, so just let him have it for not sending them to you.
So I think we should.
I'm going to let Megan jump in.
Okay.
Sorry, John. I was gonna keep Alisa on the hot seat.
Go for it.
And could you just tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started in the the guys probably got the backstory last weekend. So now you're going to have to fill in the rest of us.
Sure. Well, it's crazy. I have my degree in Puerto Rico, so I moved to El Paso. Probably I have 22 years old by that time. I started working in a store as a GM. My degree is in business administration, so I never saw myself working in a pool industry. But it's weird. Now I cannot stop talking about pools. But 6 years ago, I don't imagine myself here. I don't know why I end up here. So, long story short, I moved from that store since I have two little ones. So, as a mom, it's difficult to me, handle my kiddos. I'm a wife too, that type of life. So, I want to have a balance. So, I decided to move. I started looking different positions, and I end up in a pool industry as a scheduler, and then I moved as a project manager, and then I was more and more. I moved on 2020 for the pool industry. So when the pandemic barely started, so far around April, and it was a hard time. I remember those days 2 years ago, but I feel the love every time my previous boss he retired. Mr. Rodriguez here in El Paso. So every time he give me anything to get done, I feel like in love. Oh my goodness, how I can get this done? Oh my goodness, this infinity. Oh my goodness, I was feeling getting in love. So the pool gets to me like my boyfriend. I feel like in love with the pool industry. So every day I'm like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. At the end, my husband he ended up coming with me with the pool industry. He's a plumber. So he said, well, I should try. I know how to do it since I'm a plumber, commercial plumber. So last year when my previous boss head says, you know what, I will retire. So I says, well, do I should stay or I should go? So I decided to move my own with my husband, open our own company, and we start that crazy. No connections, no nothing, just that I just have the knowledge like a year and a half of on the pool industry. So we just go for it.
So when did you guys start your company then? And tell us what the name of it is.
2021.
Okay, wow.
But at the end, probably around October.
Okay, and the name of your business?
787 Serrano Construction. We're Puerto Rican, and the Puerto Ricans, I don't know about Edgar, but if you come to my house, everyone more than welcome. My house is your house. You will see that we have a lot of Puerto Rican things all the way. I don't know if you eat Edgar, it's same, but here we have a lot of Puerto Rican things. So our name for our company is 787, which is the area code of Puerto Rico. And
That's awesome.
Serrano is the last name of my kiddos, my husband's last name. So I'm pretty sure it will be the legacy for my kiddos. So they love us at the pool. So they go with us to do the startups. So it's a family-owned business. So I was running late since I was doing supervising some pool deck, and my son was with me. So this is a family-owned business. So we go all everything together.
So how do you manage your kids on a job site? Because I know mine would immediately fall into the hole.
Well,
They'd immediately jump into the shell.
He's 9 years old, so he feel like he's getting, a little bit bigger. So he says, "Mom, I would like to help you. Oh, you want to help me? Get the notebook, get the pen." And he go out like, "Mom, can I go over there? No, stay next to me." Okay, Mom, what I should do? Do I should say something? No, stay here. So we're like kind of playing. So he's learning, and every time I go to the school, it's crazy. Every time I go to the school, everyone know I'm a pool builder. Hey, you're the one that have pools. Hey, how are you? I'm like, oh my goodness.
That's
Everyone
so
on the
sweet,
school
though.
know that he works for Mama every time he go with me to the site.
So he wants to like get in there and get his hands dirty and do all the stuff, and you're like, and you want him next to you and where you can keep track of him.
And I was Lindsey mentioned, every time we're busy, we're always busy. And if we are or bus, I have to show up. Sometimes I have meeting my husband as well, meetings on Saturdays. Things happen. We have to go to supervise. And if we would like to get things done, it's better we show up and we supervise ourselves. Then, saying, hey, yeah, it's okay. No, we should go ourselves. We're making sure it's good. And on weekends, I have my kiddos with me. So it's my husband and myself. We show up with both of them and we supervise.
Do they complain about getting dragged to job sites on the weekends? Or are they okay with it? Because my kids would also complain about having to go.
We have to do negotiations. So we do negotiation.
Sure.
So we have like, okay, I have to supervise sweetheart, so we have 1 hour. But he's
Right.
counting the hour. He's like, Mom, 45 minutes? We are getting close to the hour. I'm like, oh my goodness. If I tell him that I would like to stop in another site, what he will do.
Nobody tells you that parenting is like mostly negotiation and bribery.
It totally is.
It's negotiation. So since little ones, they're really good salespeople.
Oh, absolutely.
So they know. They know how to sell.
I will have to tell you this. So for everybody out there, I could just picture your household because you talk about pools 50% of the time, and then you talk about Puerto Rico the other 50% of the time, right? And then let me ask you this. How many flags do you have in your house of Puerto Rico?
Well, I have 3.
3. There you go.
I have
So
2 Puerto Rican flags and 1 flag of my town. I don't know if you have your flag of your town, but
I do not have a flag of my town, but I'll tell you what I did. So we're going to bore these 4 here for just a second, but they're just going to have to put up with us here for a second. So there's a place which is my happy place, and I always go, and my vacation is and that is La Parguera.
Oh yeah, it's
And
beautiful.
so there's a spot there that we always go and we always stay. John, you'd appreciate this. And so I actually had somebody, I took a picture of it, and then I had somebody actually paint it on an oil, canvas thing. And that's the one that we have in the office, which is, humongous. My wife has gotten very smart, Alisa, and that is that I would have Puerto Rico stuff all over the house. So she got very smart, and she said, you can have all the Puerto Rico stuff that you want, but we have to put it in your office. So if you walk into my office, like every statue, anything that's in there has to somehow relate to Puerto Rico. So,
And how about the coffee cup?
oh, all my coffee cups say Puerto Rico on them. I just went on a trip, just bought 4 of them with the flags and the cookies and all that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah.
so yes. So
You're
It's part of
slick,
the
Edgar.
decoration. I don't know why we're like that, but I don't know.
You're slick. See, he tells you about this painting, right? And I've seen this painting, but he forgets to tell you about him laying on the beach as they were doing the painting, and he's in that picture, which was a little weird. I would say semi uncomfortable seeing that.
Listen, I told you,
up
John.
in your office.
I told you
And
that's.
I
told you. I told
the
you
tan
that
line.
you're going to see the pictures of me in my Puerto Rican flag Speedo. And so if you go into the office, you're probably not going to want to see that. But you were just going, I'm all in.
Yeah. Okay. So when I walk, I was like, huh?
And Matt Man wanted to point
go
out your old office, right? You're talking about your old office?
Yeah, yes, my old office. So I used to have an office. COVID hit. My wife got in there, and I got evicted. So I'm actually upstairs, Megan. So yes, thank you, man, Matt. Man, I really appreciate that.
So I feel like now we need to turn the tables onto Lindsey. So Lindsey, how did you get into the industry? First of all, can you tell us who you are and where you work and what you do? I don't know if we've covered that yet.
Yes. So I'm Lindsey Lawless. I'm a senior digital marketing manager at Hayward. And I've been with Hayward since September of 21. So it was a year this month. And it's been quite the journey. I don't exactly want to give you my whole life story,
Do it.
but I'm originally from San Diego. So I grew up with pools. I was a swimmer from 6.5. I competitively through high school, basically lived in the water and still pretty much do. I got a degree in international business and marketing from Victoria University in New Zealand, and then came back, moved out to Charlotte, North Carolina, got a job with Stanley Black & Decker, actually out in the field, selling into Lowe's stores. So very similar to a lot of our field sales guys and gals out there every day. Selling power tools. So Stanley Black & Decker's brands were like DeWalt, Bostitch, Porter Cable. Worked with a lot of home builders, general contractors, plumbers, pretty much the same industry, very similar industry and a lot of overlap for sure. Ended up in corporate for Lowe's headquarters, so Lowe's Home Improvement, on their branding and private brands team, did some product management, and then ended up in digital. And that kind of how I ended up where I am today. I worked digital for Lowe's and then some other large brands like Sherwin-Williams and Samsung, and then landed at Hayward, which has been quite the ride the past year, but have really enjoyed the experience and getting to know the industry. I mean, I love water. I love pools. My house now, I built a pool. My old house, I had an existing pool that I purchased the house with an existing pool. And so I've had the experience of an end consumer and as well as on the other side of the house. So it's been fun.
So I can't let you go on though without asking, how do you end up at school in New Zealand? And now I just want to know all about that, because New Zealand is definitely like bucket list place I want to go in my life, right?
You definitely have to go. I know it's been hard the last few years, but I'm sure they're going to start opening back up here. I just really liked to travel. I still do. And I knew it was an option. I like to encourage people to always do a study abroad if they can, if they're in college, because that's just basically included in your tuition to go overseas for a quarter. I just happened to do it for my full degree. I actually, ironically, even thought to do a study abroad from New Zealand, but it got a little too crazy, so I didn't. I didn't do it.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so it was really fun. I was there 3 years. It was an awesome country. Definitely, everybody should go to Australia and New Zealand at some point in their lives for sure.
Wondering, was there any accent that you brought with you that you had to get like work through? Because I'm listening and I don't hear a twang or anything remotely close to living there for.
Start hearing my like Southern accent more than anything now that I've been in the Carolinas for almost 10 years. But being originally from San Diego, when I went to New Zealand, I started picking up a lot of the slang and a lot of some of the unique language that they have down there. Whenever I'd come back to California, everybody would say I sounded Australian or New Zealander. And then when I went back to New Zealand, all the Kiwis would say I sounded like an American. So I didn't fit anywhere. I was just in between the whole time.
Awesome. So what are your day-to-day responsibilities?
Yeah, so as a senior digital marketing manager, I lead the digital marketing team, which consists of a social media specialist, Hallie, who's probably watching. So thanks, Hallie. And then also a web development team. So a web development manager, Davis, and then 2 developers and designers, Dimitri and Joe. And then what our team is responsible for is maintaining websites. So Hayward US, Hayward Canada, Australia's site, as well as IMG, as well as social media for Hallie's side of the house, and overall digital marketing for Hayward. So lots of things constantly going. Everything's always changing with digital, and that's some of the fun parts of the business. And we're really, as a team, hoping to really push the limits of what digital is for the pool industry, because the pool industry tends to be a little bit behind when it comes to digital, as all kind of construction type industries are. So we're really excited to start pushing the limits there.
So how many people are on your team?
Right now, I'm hoping
awesome.
to get more support so that we can do even more, but we will we'll keep asking the bosses for that.
Nice. Hey guys, let's do this really quick. Let's take a quick word from our sponsors. When we come back, Megan, I'll let you jump right back in.
The Hyper Pole from Ultimate Pool Tools is a pool care pole designed by pool professionals for pool professionals, featuring precision-crafted carbon fiber and stainless steel construction. Go to ultimatepooltools.com or Instagram at Ultimate Pool Tools. Pool pros have specific needs when it comes to general liability insurance. The SPPA program has you covered. With 3 tailored and customizable general liability options, SPPA makes it easy for pool pros to feel secure. Find out more and get covered at thesppa.com. Now available, Pool Invoice. Pool Invoice is a pool billing software created specifically for the pool service and repair industry. It's developed for our industry and only our industry. Pool Invoice is built with recurring billing in mind. You can print, email, text invoices, or even send via WhatsApp. You can add reoccurring or yearly charges, accept credits, and set up autopay. You can even see when customers have seen the invoice. It even has a customer portal where they can log in and see, print, and pay invoices. It has all your customers' information on one page, so you don't need to search through hundreds of invoices looking for the one you need. Just go to the customer profile and it's all at your fingertips. Created specifically for the pool industry, Pool Invoice. Now available at poolinvoice.com. Blu-ray XL is the power of minerals working for you. Reduce your overall chemical costs and labor up to 50% guaranteed. Whether you have 20 accounts or 20,000, Blu-ray XL's direct pricing and free shipping to the pool trade have you covered. Improving pool professionals' profit and work-life balance is what they do. Blu-ray XL, the real mineral purifier. Visit them at blu-rayxl.com.
Blu-ray all day.
Aquastar's new pipeline cartridge filters, available in 2 sizes, deliver top-notch hydraulic efficiency along with best-in-class filtration performance, approaching that of DE filters. Uniquely designed, open pleat spacing means 100% of the media square footage is usable. And these claims are backed by NSF test results. Designed with the pro's time and comfort in mind, the patented double locking system improves safety and ease of access, making filter cleaners faster than ever before. Available now. Ask your supplier for pipeline filters today. Pivot how you clean pools. Debris that makes it to the bottom always enters from the surface. Clean from the top with Ariel, a smart solar-powered pool skimming robot. She works around the clock skimming pesky and fine debris off the pool surface. Tell your customers about Ariel and earn big commission on every sale. With advanced solutions like Ariel, you'll spend less time at the pools you service, improve customer relations, and increase your bottom line. Plus, pool owners will enjoy a constantly swim-ready and healthy pool and lower energy bills. Visit pivotpoolproducts.com/dealers to see how much you can earn and for resources on how to get your customers to ditch the net for good.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Pool Nation podcast. We're talking to Lindsey, we're talking to Megan, we're talking to Alisa, and we're having a conversation on the Rookie of the Year for 30 under 40. Super excited for you ladies and super excited to be able to kind of know exactly what it is that you guys did. Lindsey, I had no idea that that's what you did for Hayward. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I can. You never know what any day is going to hold for our team. So I'm very thankful to have a very, very awesome team to support me.
So I want to the offices, which you never got to go to the old offices, Lindsey, which a couple of years ago, I was at the old Hayward offices in New Jersey, which were nice and giant and impressive in their own way. But your new offices look pretty swanky. So I'm going to have to plan a trip out there soon. But how are the new headquarters working out for you guys?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy transition. So I came on board in September 21. We had a few months before the old offices were finally really closed. So I did get to go up to New Jersey and kind of offload as much information about the old org as I possibly could, which was good experience. And I'm glad I was able to get on board before and try to get as much of that old tribal knowledge that team had. Which was significant. I mean, years and years of people with the organization that I wanted to get as much information from as possible. So I was feeling like a sponge. And then we did end up moving into a WeWork as like an interim facility. And we got spoiled by all the espresso machines. And free coffee every day is amazing. And then we finally moved into our brand new headquarters in South End in Charlotte, North Carolina, and we absolutely love it. I mean, they made sure to have coffee machines in the new office as well.
I was gonna
So
say, I can't imagine they aren't supplying you with coffee.
yeah, after being at WeWork and spoiling us, they definitely had to keep us up with that standard. So um, we have about 80 or so people on our floor. We're just one floor of a 11-story building. Has awesome restaurants and everything nearby. We have a really nice like lobby area with a awesome pump that's like blown out. You can see all the parts inside of it.
Oh, that's cool.
So we're really excited to start having guests up to our space.
John, I think we need to get together with Edgar and we need to have a discussion about new offices because I think it's time.
Right. I got to upgrade my prison look back there, my backdrop. Jesus. Throw me a bone.
What I want to know, John, is like we've invited ourselves everywhere, but nobody's actually invited us in. I think that's the scary part. Right.
I don't blame them. I don't blame them.
You're probably the loose cannon there that they don't want in the office.
Probably.
So. Hey, Alisa, let me ask you, what does your day-to-day look like? What's your day-to-day responsibilities that you do running your company?
Well, my day to day, it's a sales lady, design lady, accounting lady, supervise lady. So I would like to say all the positions. And congratulations, Lindsey. I'm really happy to hear your story. So that's powerful to all the women that we can hear that we can be in any position and we can handle everything. So that's powerful. But yeah, every day it's different for me from Monday to Saturday, I would like to say. Since Sundays I go to church as well on Wednesday, but I try to Sunday take it like off totally, completely. I'm off. So on Sundays I put my phone silence, just to be a little relaxed. But separate of that, Monday to Saturday, it's every day different. But every Monday I try to make it, a little bit more smooth. I send emails to my clients, see where we at, and then I start working probably around 9 a.m. I start supervising the projects, and then same every day. Starting Tuesday, I wake up early, probably at 5, latest 6. Kiddos daycare, school. After that, supervising, appointment, sales, ordering material. Same my husband. So we're a team. I don't want to say 50-50, it's 100%. So we do the same so far.
What's it like working with your spouse, Alisa? Because that's something that
Well,
I'm not sure. I love my husband, but I told him the other day, like, I don't think we should work together in like an official
I feel the
capacity.
same, but I barely find out that every day I can have lunch. Which is good. Sometimes I was busy and I'm like, oh, I don't have time to lunch. I just something quicker when I was working with someone, and now he called me, hey, can we meet? Can we go lunch? I'm like, oh, I'm busy. No, let's make it. Can we meet to lunch? So which is nice. So we have some times as well. We're doing lunch, but we can have some cute time. We can be together, talk about work. We have an update, and then we continue the work. Different. I can be on the east of the town. He can be on the west of the town. So we try to divide the work. So he can be, one side of the town here, and I can be on the other side. But we try to meet to get lunch. Sometimes since the day it's really long, so we start like I says 5 a.m. and I barely arrived to my house like at 7:05 p.m. So I'm like, oh, I'm running late. So it's a long day. So yeah, we try to make it smooth and lovely, and that's why we also bring our kiddos to the table so that way they can feel part of it.
Now, John, do you meet up, go have lunch with her, or no?
Ooh.
No.
No, we don't. We're straight to business. We're on the phone, and
Well,
it's like we want to
in
hurry up and get
Texas
home.
they have really good steak for
Yeah,
lunch.
maybe
I don't
that's
know
why
in
we've
California.
worn
Go
out all
out
the
to
good
California.
restaurants out here. There's nowhere we want to go, but we cherish our dinner, and like 3/4 of the day through, discussing, coming up with the game plan on what's for dinner. And then we try to hurry up and get home as soon as possible so that we can enjoy our time at home. but no lunch breaks. Because
No
if I
lunch
did,
breaks.
I'd fall asleep and I wouldn't want to I wouldn't want to service.
So both of you are in different areas of the industry. Alyssa, you're in construction. Lindsay, you're on the manufacturing side. I want to start with you, Lindsay. What is the hardest part of your job?
Oh man. When I first started, I will say learning, well, even now, learning the products and learning basically all the trades, because you have to learn some degree all the trades to really understand all of our products. I mean, I literally have the buyer's guide with me on vacation because like I need to get this into my brain. I'm going to use osmosis tonight, um, but now like on the day to day, I think the biggest challenge for me and probably a lot of the people in on the manufacturing side for Hayward is um, really understanding the needs and how we can help all of our variety of customers, because we have like you were talking about, Megan, so many different businesses and different people in different areas of the pool business, and they're all our customers. And how do we message to them? How do we help them? How do we help them understand how do we help them do their jobs? So if you think about our distributor partners, if you talk about our dealers or servicers, and then the end consumer, who I feel like a lot of times the manufacturing side can forget about because they're not the ones paying us directly, but they matter so much to me as I come from a consumer mindset. Like I've always been on that side of the house. I own a pool. Um, so we're constantly having those conversations and meetings on, what's our messaging, who's our audience. And it's always a struggle to really define and make sure that we're really providing value to each of those customers.
That's awesome. And I've had this discussion before. It, in the it has seemed like there's a little bit of a disconnect in the messaging once it reaches the end consumer. So it's really cool to hear that, big manufacturers like you guys are thinking about what that message should be and really narrowing it down. Because it also helps us as pool servicers out there, right? Because if the customer comes to us and they're already prepared and they know what they're looking for and know what they want, it helps us close the deal much easier. So I love hearing that.
Yeah, not it comes both ways, and I think the conversation should go all the way to the top and all the way back to the bottom of the funnel, especially when you think of if a customer is having any issues as well with their equipment. They're going to go walk out to their pool pad that they barely ever walk out to and see Hayward or Pentair or whatever brand that's on their pool pad, and then they're going to call us, or they're going to call their builder, they're going to call their servicer and then complain. And if there's a way to make that experience a better experience so that they know where to go, and they know how to troubleshoot their products, and they know that, hey, I can go to Hayward and they're going to offer me all the answers and how to fix my own equipment before I start calling somebody, because it might actually be something I could just fix on my own versus ask my servicer to help me with or to get a new part for me. Just really empowering every single level of our customers to make sure that they have a good experience.
Absolutely. Alyssa, what about you? What is the hardest part of your job?
My hardest part is every time a client call a future client and ask for the boss, he would like to talk with the owner. I'm like, yes, sir, how may I help you? No, ma'am, I would like to talk with your boss. Well, I can help you. My husband, he's not available, but I am available. How may I help you? You will not know about concrete, so I would like to talk to him. Can you pass me his phone number? Well, I'm sorry, sir. I would like to help you out, but I can pass the phone number. It will be the same answer. So that's the hard part. These past months, I have two calls. So unfortunately, it's sad that as a woman, they think that you don't have the knowledge on construction. I think that's the hard part. Separate of that, as a woman, we are teachers, we are moms. So every day, like Lindsay says, we're learning. So we like to improve, we like to learn more. So every time I don't see door closed, I would like to say every door we can open it. We just have to push a little bit more the door, and the door will open. So the only part is difficult is to handle with those type of clients that I'm pretty sure Lindsay and Megan have, and everyone have, as a woman. That's the only thing that I would like to say. It's hard, but I'm happy that Pool Nation and Pool Magazine and all this pool movement is getting, on the networking, so we can feel part of as far as.
And John, think about that, but we always talk about women getting pushback and stuff like that, but on the builder side, that's probably like humongous.
Yeah, you would think, because they're even more. I don't know exactly, but I'm sure. What was Kelly saying at the women's networking event? She threw out a figure saying that in the pool industry, there's roughly 11% of women in the pool industry, and that's at all job levels, right? Whether secretaries, operation managers, repair techs, just 11% in the pool industry. I wonder how small that is when it comes down to the builder side of it. Maybe that's something Megan can find out for us.
Yeah, and someone that helped me a lot. I called 2 times. Big from G6. We took rookie questions, really random, and he helped me a lot with the questions. And he helped me out, and he guided me. I asked him something. So don't get me wrong. Out there are really good men that love to help people, and he's the one of the guys that I would like to recognize when I call him. All the way from El Paso, I just call him. Hey, I have 2 rookie questions. Can you help me out? Since here in El Paso, no one, all the pool builders here in El Paso, they saw you like a competitor. But at the end, I'm like, well, this is business, but we have plenty work for everyone. So at the end of the day, the sum come out for everyone. So I would like to have someone that can guide me. We get trainings, we get all that, but at the end, it's only one business. This is the pool business. So thanks to a big shout out to him, since he helped me out when I needed. So which is good, and you guys help a lot of people with the podcast and all that. So for us as a rookie, I still feel as a rookie. I have almost 2 years, but I still, every day the industry is changing, adding new equipment, adding a lot of things. So we are every day moving, learning, and improving. So which is hard, but I love it.
Yeah, big shout out there to Vic. He's been on our podcast, on our lives. He's a great guy.
Vic's awesome. Couldn't be a better look, especially for having somebody as a mentor. You definitely found a good person to help you through your journey. Vic is just pretty badass, and his mentality is on point. I think we see eye to eye in a lot of different things. And he's a go-getter. So he's an up-and-comer for sure. And this is only the beginning for Vic.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
he got by the way, he got Pool Builder of the Year last year at the Pool Nation Awards. Hey Jason, big huge shout out over here. Glad to see you, Mr. J. Shout out to everybody out there. All of a sudden we kind of went into this quietness. Everybody's just kind of like looking at themselves. Megan, we'll let you keep rolling.
Oh yeah, all right. So you guys are both new to the industry, newish to the industry, at least compared to us old timers. And so you're both nominated.
Why did you look at me when you said that?
You can't tell what I'm looking at. You don't know what order you guys are on.
You said old and went like that and looked right at me.
It's just his paranoia.
I was looking at myself.
Yeah, there you go, John. John goes.
So you are both nominated for Rookie of the Year. So I mean, can you just tell us a little bit about what that has been like, and if you're excited about that and what it means?
Alisa, you can go first.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, I didn't call on any of you.
I feel excited. It's wonderful see that we are part of it, that you actually guys saw that we are here, we're making a difference. I'm the only woman right now here in El Paso building pools. So I feel, oh yeah, I have that. Hey, good job. So it's good to know that we're doing a good job. Even sometimes we are like, oh, it's tired, it's busy, but at the end every day, okay, let's do it again. Let's keep it up. And it's hard, but I feel part of it. I feel blessed knowing that you guys out there, helping us, bringing more information, bringing training, and that 30 and under 40 rookie of the year helped me to tell me, you know what, Alisa, keep learning, keep moving, and this is just the beginning of many years of blessing on the pool industry. So I feel blessed. I feel this is the beginning of many, many more years on the industry.
Yeah, I have to agree. It's been super exciting to be nominated. I feel like in all my roles in the past, it's just super rare to find an industry that actually gets around the people rather than just different manufacturers or different businesses that are obviously like acknowledging the people within their organization. But to actually have a community around the pool industry, I think is something that not many have, and I think that's really special. So I think it's awesome that you're kind of bringing together people from all different parts of the industry, and being able to actually acknowledge hard work being done is always awesome. So I feel very appreciated, and I'm very excited.
Man, that's so
So
cool to hear. Because I think in the pool industry, we always talk about how like we need to build a community. We need to build a community outside the industry saying, you guys are doing it. Or not outside the industry, but who's newer to the industry say,
Yeah,
you know what, you're making it's coming along.
you definitely are. You definitely are.
And
so the
John, I
big
kind of feel a
question
little
is,
I
what's
feel a
up?
little bit. I said I feel a little bit excited about it because they're sitting there both right. They're both kind of rookies, and they're exactly what Megan was saying, talking about how they're seeing that we're kind of trying to bring this thing together, which that's been one of our goals.
Well, for sure, right? And slowly but surely, right? It's nothing that happens overnight. A lot of hard work and effort goes into it. And over these past few years, there's been a lot of great people out there that have helped everyone kind of move towards that goal. Because in order for us to grow or to become better as a whole, right, as an industry, we need to be able to learn how to celebrate our victories. We need to be able to celebrate our heroes. We need to be able to acknowledge how important our duties are, our jobs, what we provide, to families and to the consumers and our clients. Important our job is, and it's a long journey. It's not even remotely close to being finished. But I personally, and I know Zach and Edgar feel the same way too. We see that silver lining, that little light at the end of the tunnel, right? And we're chugging and we're moving and we're moving, and it's great to have so many great people involved, uh, pushing together to get us to that point. So
And
for
the
sure.
the the thing of it, John, is that we all play a big part. We all play a part of it, right?
Yep.
So we're sitting here talking about, wanting to bring the community together and all that, and we can't do it by ourselves. And it's like, here's Megan doing this amazing job with a 30 under 40, focusing on that part of the business. And then, you have other people that do other things, and then, the Pool Nation Awards, and it's like, you really realize that it has to be that community effort. It has to be everybody coming together to be able to kind of bring it all together. And so it hasn't been till now, sitting and
No,
talking
for
to the
sure.
ladies and Megan, that it's like I start to see that progress, and I start to get very excited, especially when they're both kind of rookies coming in and they're starting to see it. But, you know, like, not one company, not one person can do it. It has to be, it has to be everybody in the industry, like Alyssa's saying, not competitors, because yeah, we can be competitors, but the pie's big enough for everybody. But how do we forget about all that at certain times and kind of come all together to bring the industry up? So um, I'm actually very
Yeah,
excited.
no, for sure. And look, and to emphasize that point, and I'm going to say it, what's important is, and when you start to get traction and when you start to see the movement and make the movement, is when you figure out that, hey, we're in this together. And instead of, like Megan, for instance, right, we work together to do this, right? It's not about one person or one podcast or one magazine or one this or one that, right? And everybody's kind of pulling against the direction. Everybody thinks someone's a competition, just like we talk about it when it comes down to the pool industry. And just like you said, Edgar, it's like, no, we're brothers and sisters in this together. And until we become a nation of pool pros, and pun intended, right? It's just going to be that much more of a difficult journey. And the quicker we realize that we need to all help each other and support each other in this journey, right? Once we get to that point, the faster we'll reach our goal. So for sure, I don't want to get all emotional on this because this really is important.
Getting sappy over here.
I don't know why. I'm a sucker for this.
By the way, ladies, just to let you know, he's the sappy one out of the group.
I am. Look, this means a lot to me. It really does, in what we're doing here. And that's why I'm a part of this. I've built some great friendships with Edgar and Zach and everybody that I've had to meet. But the reason behind all this is seriously what I'm saying, because I want to be a part of a greater industry, right? I think we're much greater than we've shown in the past. And I think our potential, we're nowhere near reaching it. So we're getting there.
Yeah, it's so true. We can learn so much from each other. I mean, every day I'm asking, like, hey, can we go out in the field and talk to some builders or local servicers or a field team and get some ideas, or should we be doing things differently than we're thinking? Obviously, all the new team members at Hayward are all fresh eyes from different industries, which has been really good to add to the pot. But there's definitely something to be said about sharing best practices across the entire industry, because I mean, we just elevate the whole industry together that way.
All right. So ladies, the big question is, will you be going to Vegas for the awards?
No? I will be there. Alisa, will you?
Be there. I will be there.
You got an okay from both of us.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. And then Megan, we know that you're going to be there.
I already bought a dress. I'm ready to go.
You're about a dress.
Yeah.
So
by on stage with us.
Yes. By the way, Megan, we decided today that we're going to tux it up for the awards this year.
Ooh,
we're gonna go in.
Yeah.
That was. By the way, I think Zach.
Almost sounded like you said Speedos, bro. But
wow, you have Speedos in your mind.
No. Well,
my picture that you saw in my Speedos got you thinking.
Burned in my memory.
And Alisa, it's the Speedo with the Puerto Rican flag, so it's a double whammy for him. Wow. He can't stop thinking about it.
Right. Let's take a final word from our sponsors, and when we come back, we're going to get Zach's
final thoughts, not mine. Yeah. All right, guys. Let's take our final words from our sponsors, like John just said, and we'll be right back.
The Hyper Pole from Ultimate Pool Tools is a pool care pole designed by pool professionals for pool professionals, featuring precision-crafted carbon fiber and stainless steel construction. Go to ultimatepooltools.com or Instagram at Ultimate Pool Tools. Pool pros have specific needs when it comes to general liability insurance. The SPPA program has you covered. With 3 tailored and customizable general liability options, SPPA makes it easy for pool pros to feel secure. Find out more and get covered at thesppa.com. Now available, Pool Invoice. Pool Invoice is a pool billing software created specifically for the pool service and repair industry. It's developed for our industry and only our industry. Pool Invoice is built with recurring billing in mind. You can print, email, text invoices, or even send via WhatsApp. You can add reoccurring or yearly charges, accept credits, and set up autopay. You can even see when customers have seen the invoice. It even has a customer portal where they can log in and see, print, and pay invoices. It has all your customers' information on one page, so you don't need to search through hundreds of invoices looking for the one you need. Just go to the customer profile and it's all at your fingertips. Created specifically for the pool industry, Pool Invoice. Now available at poolinvoice.com. Blu-ray XL is the power of minerals working for you. Reduce your overall chemical costs and labor up to 50% guaranteed. Whether you have 20 accounts or 20,000, Blu-ray XL's direct pricing and free shipping to the pool trade have you covered. Improving pool professionals' profit and work-life balance is what they do. Blu-ray XL, the real mineral purifier. Visit them at BlueRayXL.com.
Blu-ray all day.
Aquastar's new pipeline cartridge filters, available in 2 sizes, deliver top-notch hydraulic efficiency along with best-in-class filtration performance, approaching that of DE filters. Uniquely designed, open pleat spacing means 100% of the media square footage is usable. And these claims are backed by NSF test results. Designed with the pro's time and comfort in mind, the patented double locking system improves safety and ease of access, making filter cleaners faster than ever before. Available now. Ask your supplier for pipeline filters today. Pivot how you clean pools. Debris that makes it to the bottom always enters from the surface. Clean from the top with Ariel, a smart solar-powered pool skimming robot. She works around the clock skimming pesky and fine debris off the pool surface. Tell your customers about Ariel and earn big commission on every sale. With advanced solutions like Ariel, you'll spend less time at the pools you service, improve customer relations, and increase your bottom line. Plus, pool owners will enjoy a constantly swim-ready and healthy pool and lower energy bills. Visit pivotpoolproducts.com/dealers to see how much you can earn and for resources on how to get your customers to ditch the net for good.
Welcome back, everybody. We continue our conversation with Lindsey, Alisa, and Megan. We're talking about the 30 under 40 Rookie of the Year for the females, and we're at our final thoughts. And Megan, should I go with John or should I go with Zach?
Zach raised his hand, so he gets it.
Zach is back. Zach's back in high school. He's kind of raising his hand.
I don't know what it is. You keep trying to break tradition lately.
Got to keep you on your toes. I can't just, not only that, John was telling me that he feels a little bit jealous that you always go first, that he wants to go first. So,
well, you know how robotic I am. We can't go out of order or I just get all frazzled. So, anyway, so to my final thoughts, big congratulations to both of you on your nomination. And I love hearing your stories. You both have accomplished a lot in your journey, and it was really different journeys. So thank you for coming on and spending the evening with us. And I'm excited to meet you in Vegas. And Alisa, I will be in Vegas, so I will get to meet you. I will be there.
She called you out. She said that Zach didn't show up. By the way, there was somebody else that was asking for you there, and she was like, "Where's Zach?"
Edgar didn't invite me. That was actually what really happened.
You should have seen what John said. I just don't want to repeat what John said.
Protecting my feelings. And Megan, as always, you always kill it on the podcast. And so I think I should put Edgar in the hot seat and say, you better step up your game with these intros, or John and I might be putting things up to a vote. And I just want to let you know your year-end review is just right around the corner. So
there you go. Now we're talking.
You can't kick Edgar out because he's the one who meets me at IKEA in the middle of the night and picks up magazines. So.
That was a little sketchy, us meeting in the parking lot of IKEA at like 10 o'clock at night. We were like, but it works. Mr. John, final thoughts. By the way, ladies, there's a theme here that you look at John, how he's sitting. And if I don't say John, final thoughts, he'll just sit there like this.
I will.
And so John, final thoughts.
Yeah. Well, I want to piggyback on what Zach was saying, and congratulations, ladies. It is quite the honor. And Megan, same thing as always. It's always a pleasure to have any time to talk to you, and especially have on the podcast. I personally think you do a much better job than Edgar does. So Edgar needs to definitely step up his game. Even though he's gotten a lot better, he has, right? He got his whole radio voice twang going, and he gets the intros down now. Before it took him maybe, I don't know, a year and 6 months before he finally nailed the intro. And he's doing better now. But listening to you, it's like, wow, you don't know a good thing until all we know is what we know. We know Edgar, but having you on is a blessing. So hopefully we can
Wow, they're going deep today,
I know, man.
Megan. They're going like
they're so mean to you.
it's like it's not a funny joke because normally it's something and it's funny, but it's like
Yeah, no, I'm dead
Wow.
serious.
You're making
right
me a
now.
little
Look,
uncomfortable here.
so tomorrow
but
I post
for-
on social media, I delete the page and to
Right.
close up Pool Nation. We're done.
Right.
No awards.
It's over.
You guys, I would
Over.
never do as much
We
work
quit.
that Edgar does for this. Like, I don't have time. So I'm sorry. Everything would fall on its face.
Yeah, Edgar
Immediately.
does a lot of work for
Yes.
sure.
So, no, but look, I really enjoy this. Where we're bringing on everybody is, with the 30 under 40s, the nominees for the Pool Nation Awards, and getting to meet new people and listening to their stories and their journeys, and helps us kind of reminisce when we first started too, and the things we kind of went through, and it the reality kind of hits, and we're really not that different, right? And you hear the same theme constantly, because we've pretty much all kind of been through it, and I think the sooner we recognize that, right, the more open we are to building friendships and networking and doing that. But I am very excited to meet you at the Vegas show, Lindsey. We haven't met in person. Alisa, you were a blast at the networking event. Looking forward to seeing you again. And Megan, I threw you a couple bones throughout this podcast, and even beforehand. I don't even know. I'm just gonna shut up. I'm not gonna say anything nice about you anymore, because every time I do, you throw it back in my face. So, Megan, I'll see you when I see you. Okay. Hope you don't trip on your way up to the stage at the awards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I do have some like blackmail photos from our photo shoot of you. So I mean,
Okay, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
I'm kidding.
Megan, I do need, we do need to talk because I do need a picture of John. We definitely need to talk. So he's kind of having a fit with some of the pictures that I have. So I think that
Well, I've got his beauty shot. And
that's the one I need. That's the one I need. That is the one I need.
I completely forgot about that. Oh, if I can hit the rewind button real quick. I need the remote control. Look, I'm actually red. Right now. Holy shit, Megan!
I did not put it in the magazine as much as I wanted to, John, because I didn't want to embarrass you, even though it is an amazing picture of you. You look ready for like a Revlon cover of some makeup.
All right, checkmate. You won.
Just to let you know, Megan, we will pay money for that picture, just to let you know.
No, John, it's all out of love. It's all out of love.
Zach, we need to how much money we can come up with to get a hold of that picture, because that's some big money right there.
I just like how I'm in the middle. I'm on Edgar's team. I'm on John's team. So I'm staying out of all of that.
You're kind of Switzerland, like right in the middle, kind of not, My final thoughts, lady, I am going to embrace what Janie likes to say, John, and that is that you guys are badass women. I think that you guys have, in the little time that you've been doing what you do, you have been amazing at it. And then, we talk about some of the things that you guys have to go as females to do it. And that's just even more, that goes against you. And just the fact that you are where you are is amazing. So I'm super excited to have you ladies all out at the Pool Nation Awards to celebrate you guys. And I want to thank you all for coming on the podcast tonight. Lindsey, I know that you were traveling to Tennessee and you still made it and you still made time. So we appreciate that a lot. Alisa, I know that you scrambled home at the last minute and you're still working and you still have the kids. So a big shout out to both of you. Megan, it's always a pleasure to have you on. We always enjoy having you on. And to my boys, Zach and John, I hope you guys have a good evening. And John, we'll catch you on Wednesday on the Instagram Live. And we'll be talking to the gentleman of the 30 under 40 on Wednesday. So everybody have a great night. And we'll catch you guys next Wednesday. Bye, guys.
See ya.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Pool Nation podcast, a member of the Pool Nation family. You can listen to us live every Friday here at 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central, and 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. You can find us at Pool Nation or poolnationpodcast.com, on Facebook, or on Instagram at pool.nation. And to find more info about Pool Invoice, the billing software built specifically for the pool industry, go to poolinvoice.com. Before you go, this is what the pool industry has been waiting for. PoolmanUniversity.com. It's the first platform dedicated to learning the swimming pool service and repair industry. A pool service community where you can connect and find videos on business, service, water chemistry, and repairs. See you there at PoolmanUniversity.com.